We got some viewers. We are live.
Awesome. Sweet.
The least technically advanced person on the planet finally figured out how to go live with more than one person. It took a lot of work, but we're here. So as always, #live. If you're checking us out live, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to do that. If you're checking us on the replay because you're just too busy crushing it all day and you come here at the end of the day and watch this on the replay, I appreciate you. #replay. And then also let us know if you are transitioning into this industry from a 9 to 5, if you're a setter, if you're a closer, or if you are an employer, so we can start catering some of the training and some of these interviews to you specifically. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. This one I am super excited about. I've always wanted to get UCM students in. I know we don't put out a lot of ads and marketing. You know, I'm self-proclaimed the worst marketer in the industry. Pretty darn good mentor, but as far as marketing goes, I'm working on it. But you know, I think what we have within UCM is more than just a group. It's really a family. And a community. And so I want to get some of those stories out to inspire you, to give you some tips and tricks and hopefully send you on your way. So it's only fitting that the first live interview is this man here. When he came in, a lot of people talk a lot, right, on these calls, the first calls we have. I think a lot of people are surprised that they actually have a call with me before they join. And this man did talk a lot. He talked a lot of game. He said, you know, I'm going to come in. I'm not here to just take part, right? I'm going for the highest level of success. I want to be one of the best success stories out there. And I was like, okay, yeah, everybody says that. And from the minute he came in, there was just an animalistic approach to this industry that I respect, and I think it's absolutely necessary, and I don't see it from a lot of people. And so it has been an absolute honor to be a part of his journey, to be his mentor, to help him and watch such an amazing growth in such a short period of time. Today's interview is with Chance Rayhill. What's up, my man? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, of course, man. No, thank you so much. I appreciate the compliments there. I'm a pretty humble person. I don't do too well with compliments, so it's just something, you know. I'm super grateful for you guys and the environment and group that you have built, and I mean it's something that I want to be a part of until you kind of hang up the cleats, right?
That's it, man. That's it. I got a few good years of me left before they take me out back and old yell at me. So let's just go all the way back. How did you stumble upon this crazy little world of remote high ticket sales in the first place?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So as you know, I got into sales late last year through Verizon, the whole cellular sales thing. And I mean, that was good. It was fun and all, you know, but I felt like, you know, there was not only more money to be made, but I was built for more, you know. Verizon, it was a very simplistic approach. We were glorified cashiers. People came in, they said, hey, I want this phone, I want this, ring me out. It's like, okay, that's cool and all, but I mean, you know, I wanted to fall in love with the process and, you know, the whole process from start to finish. And I started doing some research, Google, and, you know, just searching on what the next step is for a sales career. And I stumbled upon the high ticket closer and high ticket sales verbiage. And you know this, I told you this on our initial call. I did some research through Facebook to try and find some groups, stumbled upon this group, joined, followed you guys for about a month and a half. And then you posted the lengthy post about the case study and, hey, if you want in on some one-on-one, I was like, I'm going to jump on this, man. Like this is something I want to get my feet wet. And I mean, you know, we jumped on that call and you told me, you know, hey, this isn't going to be easy. There's going to be work put in. And you know, I told you I'm ready for it, man. You know, something I pride myself on is being a worker. So, you know, from there we kind of joined in and the rest is history, man.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, lengthy post. To me, that probably was a short post. I probably cut that down a couple times. For me, that's just one of my normal rants. So I'm guessing if you did those searches, you probably seen other options and other programs and other groups. So what was it about our group and UCM specifically that said this is the one I want to go with?
Just the overall genuine feeling. You yourself, even before you were my mentor, I could tell that you cared about each and every person. What are we up to now in this free group? Like 14,000, something like that, right? Yeah, I mean, just seeing you engage, and this was before I knew Hunter and all the other coaches. Just the fact that you were active and you were given all this free knowledge, and I mean, I tuned in to a couple of your live streams and just got a feel for how you approach the sales game and teaching people. And I mean, I really felt like this was a great community. And the fact that I didn't see, after viewing some of your content, I didn't see a million targeted ads felt very, very good to me, because it's like, okay, these people aren't just trying to get my money. They really want to see me succeed. And I mean, I thought about it a long time. I kept following you. I was waiting for that ad. I won't lie to you, JD, because you know how it is. You do something once and then you get targeted for months on end for ads. Never saw one. And I was like, man, this guy, he's really addicted to people's success. And that's something that I wanted in on.
Appreciate that. And so, I mean, obviously, you're a smart guy, you're hardworking. There might have been people in your situation that thought, well, I'll figure this out on my own, save some money. Why wasn't that an option for you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's something you can do, right? A lot of people, they're like, hey, I can do this on my own. I'll search Google, I'll do this and I'll do that. I know that having a mentor is one of the best things possible. Some of the most successful people in the world say they attribute all their success to their mentors. And even the ones that are on the top have mentors, and then those people have mentors. And, I looked at it as a way of, if I can have somebody in my corner to tell me, when I want to take a right, that I need to take a left, or, that I can learn from your mistakes and kind of shortcut that process. That was my overall goal.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. That was kind of my approach as well. And then, obviously everybody has different expectations, and then there's, sometimes buyer's remorse and like, what did I do? And, I thought it was going to be this and it was actually that. Like, were you surprised by anything after joining UCM, or did you notice anything, in the early days of when you got on the other side? What was your first kind of experience, or what did you notice?
Yeah, definitely, man. Great question. For me, two things really stood out. The overall love and support of the entire community from day one. I think there was like 180 something people when I joined. I had, all 100 plus of those people in my corner, loving me, supporting me, pushing me, telling me that I can do this, reaching out to me if I need support. And then all the coaches, right? I didn't know how many coaches were in your program until I joined. I thought it was just you, honestly. Like I thought it was just you. And then I joined and I got connected with Hunter and Natalie and Kristen and Victor and John. And I mean, it's just, the list goes on. And the amount of time that you guys sacrifice for us and the community is what really, really, really stood out to me at first.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I think, at first when I was thinking about it, I was like, well, I have a lot of strategies that are different than what's out there. And maybe I'll just put those in a course form and put them out there. And then in just having conversations with people in the industry, I realized that the accessibility is what they were really missing. It's like everybody has a strategy, but having a real person that's in their corner to talk to, and it was kind of a no-brainer at that point. Like, always one of those things, what you want to teach compared to what you need to teach. So yeah, that was definitely a big thing. And I've been blessed to have amazing people that buy into the same vision, and some of the most high integrity, hardworking, dedicated people I've ever met in my life that inspire me to, do more, and also make sure that I'm, that I'm not replaced, because many of those coaches could step in and probably have just an amazing program on their own. And so we have an amazing team. Okay. And so early on, can you remember like what your kind of first win was, or your first big win early on?
Yeah. So my first big win, I would say, would be, There were a couple. The big one was the first offer that I got. So I got an offer to join a startup company directly through Hunter's networking mastermind. So I fell in love with networking. The whole mastermind course that you guys have inside there. I watched that thing probably 3 times. I took a bunch of notes. I just fell in love with that process, and getting that first offer. I think it was within my first couple of weeks. So I spent my first couple of weeks really diving into the content, coming to the coaching calls, and then I started doing some networking, and I got that first offer. And it wasn't necessarily something that I wanted to do. It didn't align with me, but just the fact that, the stuff that you guys teach works is what really, really resonated to me. That was a big win. I was like, okay, wow. So it's just not a bunch of fluff stuffed into a course. Like this is actual shit that works. Right. And it blew my mind how fast those offers started coming in when I was networking. It was like, boom, boom, interview, offer, interview, offer. And it was like, whoa, like that was definitely the first big one for me.
Yeah, I love that, because I think a lot of people come in out of and it's no fault of their own, but just out of a level of desperation. And some people need that feeling of like, I have a job, so that's the value, right? And if I have a job, okay, like I can breathe again. And that was one thing that I really respected. And it was like the aha moment of like, oh, this guy's going to be successful. I remember when you turned that offer down, and I think it's it would have been really hard for a lot of people to turn that down in the place you were at. And I was like, okay, now this really leaves room for a better opportunity, the opportunity you're meant to be in. And so did you ever end up finding that better opportunity?
Of course, man. Of course. Yes, 100%. So, it was actually within 9 days after I turned that offer down, I had gotten linked up with and told that when things get sorted out, I have an offer on scaling with systems with Ravi Abuvala. So definitely. Amazing. It was crazy how fast everything went, man. It was to me, it's still kind of like a dream. Like I wake up and I'm like, is this really what I do? Like, am I really making money doing this? Like it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I love it, man. Congratulations. And
thank you, brother.
So as you know, I usually, because like I think of people settle too often and they compromise too often. So as you know, I get every student to put a list of their dream employers together. And so that we don't have to settle, we can focus on what do we want to get out of this. And I remember you doing the dream list. Was Scaling with Systems and Ravi on that dream list, and where did they rank on that dream list?
Yeah, great question. They were number 1, actually. They were at the very top of the list, and number 2 was Rob Quinn. And I actually had I was in the process of networking and connecting with Rob Quinn's team. I had enrolled in one of their kind of SDR certifications and was on the track to becoming a setter with Rob Quinn. And then I got the offer from Ravi. And as you know, I connected with you and I was like, hey man, what would you do in this scenario? And you kind of left it up to me. You're like, hey man, you do what fits you best. I would take the guaranteed position over the one that might not be there. But if you want to hold out, hold out. And my gut was really telling me to hold out on SWS because it was my top big dog one that I wanted. And within a couple of days after we talked, I was getting onboarded.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, there was also Christmas break in the middle of this, right?
Oh yeah.
So it seems like within 2 months, and Christmas break being one of those months, you had opportunities with number 1 and number 2 on your dream list. Not like who I'd like to work, but like if I could work with anybody in this industry, these are the companies I would work with. And that's just, I mean, I always say like, and I was talking to you about this the other day, is, when you were thanking me, it was like, yeah, everybody has access to the same things, but not everybody does something with it. And like you busted your ass, you blindly took everything that we said, you didn't challenge it, and you just applied it, and you got those results, man. And it's just been amazing to see. It's not only inspiring for me to say, all right, I need to get more people in here and do this, but for other students, I think they look at you and it gives them hope on those tough days, because as you know, it's a roller coaster ride. But you really are an inspiration to our community, definitely. So
thank you, man.
And so, yeah, now what's life like for chance in SWS?
Life is beautiful, man. You know, my first full month last month, I lost track of how many records that I broke within the company. Honestly, it was mind blowing to see, you know, putting the training into place on the calls. And, you know, I've been slacking, everybody here. I mean, I've been slacking on coming to the calls and engaging, and that's something that I promised you that I'll get better at, and I'm working at getting better at it. But it's something where, you know, when I would come to one of the coaching calls and I'd be like, hey, I'm doing this and this and this, and I'm not seeing results. How should I tweak that? You would tell me how to tweak it. I would implement it the next day, and it was like, boom, it just clicked, and it was like results. And it was beautiful, man. But life for me, man, I would say it hasn't been better. It hasn't been better because, I mean, my lease is up here soon. But I plan on traveling, right? Because I can take this computer and I can do what I do from anywhere in the world. And I've wanted to travel more than anything since I was in college. I think I've been to 5 states in the entire country. So just having this in my back pocket, knowing that I can travel and continue to make a good living doing it is like a dream come true for me.
I love that, man. You're going to have to come down to Columbia and see me.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
I love 100%. It, man. So you mentioned good living. Obviously, I don't want to pry too much, but we're in sales. We talk about money more than most people. Like,
of course,
you know, your first month, what did you bring in?
Yeah. So you're talking February or March?
Just last month, I guess.
Last month? Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I can start with what I was making in my job at Verizon. So at Verizon, I was making about 5,000, 6,000 on a very, very good month if I hit every bonus. Last month, I took home a little over 7,200 on scaling the systems.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. And do you feel like with Verizon, was there an opportunity to improve your income? Like, do you think you could get to 10, 15, 20?
No,
and
absolutely not.
Now, do you feel like you have that opportunity?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Last month, that was all our lower ticket offer. As soon as we get our higher ticket offer back up and scaling and going, I mean, you know, there's potential of 12, 13, 15K months there.
Beautiful. And what role are you in? Sorry?
I'm at SWS.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm a setter.
7,200 early on in the game as a setter with opportunity to grow. I know some closers that aren't making that right now, man. You should be really, really proud of yourself.
Hey, thank you, man.
I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but other than, you know, obviously the big thing that people want is how to get that dream job, and then the sales training stuff, how to make the money. Was there anything outside of those 2 areas that you were impressed with UCM, or that you felt were helpful in the training?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's a bunch that come to mind, but I mean, the number one thing for me, and we touched on this when we had our first call, is you don't bullshit, right? You don't beat around the bush. You tell me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. And that's exactly what I needed, right? I'm a confident person. You know, my confidence is probably too high sometimes. And having you there to knock me down and be like, hey man, you had a good day or a good week, but you know, that's nothing. You know, we need to, you know, what do you say? You know, you're like, okay, cool. What now? Right? Like that's awesome. But what now? Like, take a day, celebrate, and then come back stronger. And that's something that I have implemented in my life. I celebrate wins, but I don't do it for extended periods of time.
I think that's amazing. Yeah, we're not there yet, man. Like, that progress is great, but what's next? Yeah, that's
exactly
100%. I love it. Okay. Lastly, like, who do you think could benefit from UCM, or who would you recommend UCM to?
Man, honestly, it's anybody who wants to get into the high ticket, whether it be setting or closing or just this online sales world, they could benefit from the program. 100%. I feel like the way you have the course laid out and the different demographic of coaches, from, you know, mindset to networking to sales to personal development, etc. You know, there's a benefit for every single person that could and would come through.
Okay. Appreciate that, man.
Of course.
Lastly, I know a lot of people come to us, like, because we don't have a lot of marketing out there. We're not running $300,000 worth of ads like everybody else. What would you say to someone who went through a program, is maybe not getting the results they want, and is a little bit, maybe trigger shy or resistant to saying, well, I already invested in a program, why this?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. For me, it would be, this program is very personalized. It's not, there is some general information, right? The videos are general, it's kind of anybody can use. But like I touched on earlier, you coaches sacrifice so much to personalize the experience to each individual. Like Hunter, when I first started, I was in his inbox like crazy. I'm sure I was annoying him. Like I was just consistently like, hey, am I doing this right? Am I saying this right? How would I do this? How do you do this? What do you recommend? And he personalized the whole experience to me and the situation I was in. And I mean, a lot of the courses out there, they don't do that, right? They give you some generalized videos, maybe one coaching call a week where you can ask a couple questions and you're on your own, right? You guys, we have multiple coaching calls a week. Like there's one every single day, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, pretty much 2 every day and then 1 Friday.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, there is just a plethora of, the way I would put it, and this might be harsh, is if you come into this program and you don't see results, I mean, that's 100% on you, right? Because what you guys are willing to do for us goes above and beyond the asking point of the cost of the program, is what I would say. For sure.
Okay, enough about UCM. It's about you. So this is your chance to give our audience some words of wisdom or advice, or experience, what you've learned through this process. Based on your experience now, what can you tell people if they're looking at you and they're like, I want those results?
Yeah, just honestly, man, don't give up. Don't give up. That's the biggest thing, and show up and put in the work. Those are two big things that I would say that you need to do in this industry. And I mean, I just started, so I mean, it's not something that I like to give advice because I'm not you, right? I haven't been here for years and have tons and tons of results, but I would say 2 big things, show up, put in the work, and ask questions. Ask questions 100%. Don't be afraid to ask, because, this goes back to grade school, man. If you have the question, chances are somebody else has that question, right? And, ask questions, work, and don't give up, for sure. Those 3 things. I mean, I know that I got my dream offer super early and super quick. I know it doesn't always pan out like that, but I mean, just keep your head down, keep working, keep networking, keep doing everything that these guys, put into place for you and teach you how to do. And I mean, you will see results.
I love it, man. I love it, because a lot of people say it, but like you live it every day. And, I always say, like, one of my favorite times is when a student messages me and apologizes for not showing up on calls because they're too busy crushing it. Like, that's what it's all about for me. That's my favorite message out of all the messages I get. It's like, sorry, man, I haven't been on the call this week. I'm just too busy crushing it. I love that. And yeah, I think, you put your money where your mouth is. A lot of people say show up. A lot of people say work hard, but like, we see it in you every day. And you really are an inspiration. And so it has been an absolute honor being a part of your journey. I do think you're a front runner for UCM Student of the Year 2022. It's a long year ahead, but I think you've gotten out of the gates as fast as anyone. And I can't wait to see what's next for you, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, man, thank you so much. I can genuinely say that I wouldn't be here without you and without all the coaches in the program. There's a couple that I haven't talked to as much as I wish. But again, that's something that I'm putting action plans in. We got my 30, 60, 90-day goals down. And I mean, I'm going to work on it for sure.
Beautiful, brother. Well, I'll let you get back to work, man. We got more records to set, more money to make.
Of course. You know it.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on today.
Hey, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you.
Take care.